Hi there, my name is Miss Townsend and I love math. Welcome to Math with Townsend. This video is for grade 9 students who are looking for some EQAo practice, and it's based on some practice questions I handed out in class. It's the 6th video, so it's the 6th question from that package, and here's the question. It says the cost of producing a family photo album is 50 cents per photo plus a fixed cost for the album. Circle the table below that represents this scenario, justify your choice, and include an explanation of why you did not choose the other options. So what I have here are 3 tables of values. All of them are looking at the number of photos and the total cost. So I have to be able to understand how a table of values will give me information about the cost per photo and the fixed cost. So, a couple different ways to approach this, but remember this word per is a really strong word when we're talking about relationships, and especially linear relationships. At 50 cents per photo, they're talking about the rate of change or slope. So they're saying that every time you change the number of photos by 1, the cost should go up by 50 cents. So it's telling me that I need to have a slope of 50 cents or a rate of change of 50 cents. That's one thing that must be true about which scenario is correct. The other thing that must be true is there must be a fixed cost for the album. So there must be some sort of cost that is separate from 50 cents per photo. So for example, maybe there's a $10 fee for the title in embossed gold lettering, or a $20 fee for shipping it. I don't know. But there must be both a 50 cents per photo cost and a separate fixed cost that doesn't care about how many photos you use. So hopefully that makes sense. And so what I'm really saying is that if we think about the equation of a line or the equation of a linear relationship, when we think about cost equals number of photos times something, in this case it has to be 50 cents. Ooh, that got messy. Hold on, let me refix this. So, in other words, the cost per photo, the cost for this photo album has to be 50 cents for every single photo, and they're using the letter P, so I'm going to use the letter P. 50 cents for every photo, plus there must be some other cost here. The fixed cost would go here. That's what I need to figure out, is which one of these tables of values gives me a 50 cents per photo and a fixed cost. So let's start by looking at option number 1. So let's see if we can figure out what the fixed cost, what the cost per photo is. So remember, that's a slope conversation. And even if it wasn't, I know that we've done first differences enough that you probably instinctively would do what I'm doing anyway, which is to say that delta P, or the way that P changes in this table, is constant at 5. And the cost, the way that C changes, is constantly increasing by $2.50. So there is a constant first difference in the cost of $2.50 and a constant change in photos. So what that means is that every time I increase photos by 5, the cost increases by $2.50. And because it's constant, it's linear, so I can tell you the rise over run, or the slope, is 50 cents. So every time I go up by 1 photo, the cost goes up by 50 cents. Well, that's what I wanted, but I also need to check what the fixed cost is. And the fixed cost can be thought of as, if I somehow bought this photo album and put 0 photos in it, what would it cost me? So what I want to see is, what would the cost be if I could somehow decrease to 0 photos? So I'm sort of pretending there's another row in my table. If I went backwards by 5 photos, what would I go backwards by in cost? Well, we know that every 5 photos is a change in cost of $2.50. So if I lose 5 photos, the cost goes down by $2.50. So it will cost me nothing to put no photos in it. And that means that this has a fixed cost of $0. In other words, there isn't a fixed cost. This is not what I'm looking for. And the reason why it's not right is because this table of values has no fixed cost. So remember that fixed cost is the starting value of the relationship. It's where the independent variable is 0. In a equation form, it's the b value equal to 0. It's a direct variation. This is not what I'm looking for. It has the correct cost per photo, but it doesn't have a fixed cost. Let's look at the second option. So again, this is in a table of values, I think the nicest way to talk about rate of change. So delta P, the number of photos, is constantly increasing by 5. So what's happening to the cost? Well, from $35.50 to $36, that went up by 50 cents. This also went up by 50 cents, and this went up by 50 cents. So there is a constant change in the cost column of 50 cents. So every time the photos increase by 5, the cost increased by 50 cents. Well, that's not 50 cents per photo. That's 50 cents for 5 photos. So in other words, each photo is only 10 cents in this scenario. So I know that this is not the right scenario. I'm not even going to worry about finding the fixed cost. Each photo is 10 cents, so this is not the right scenario because it has the wrong cost per photo. So hopefully the third one will work out. So let's see. So in the third one, again, we see this constant change in 5 in the number of photos. So delta P is 5. And let's see what happens to the cost. So here I go up by $2.50. Here I go up by $2.50. And here I go up by $2.50. So we also have a constant change in the cost. So for every 5 photos, the price increases by $2.50. So what is that as a cost per photo? So let's do the math. That is a 50 cents per photo rate of change. That's what we wanted. So far so good. Now we need to see if there is a fixed rate. And again, in a table of values, the easiest thing to do in a scenario like this is to see what would happen if we decreased down to 0 photos. What would the cost decrease to? So if I go backwards by 5 photos, the price would have to go backwards or down by $2.50. So that would be $35. And the fixed cost is therefore $35. And I was looking for a fixed cost and a 50-cent price. So this is the correct scenario because it has a 50 cents cost per photo and it has a fixed price of $35. So just to clarify what we were saying earlier, I'll do this back here. It says to circle the correct one, boom. And I've written my justifications and explanations, but just to show you that the equation represented by this table of values is 50 cents for every P plus a starting value of $35, meaning if I have no photos, there would still be a $35 cost for that photo album, probably for the album and, the gold embossed lettering and whatever. So this one has a 50 cents per photo cost plus a fixed cost, and so that's the only one that works. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I think there's one more question to review, so we'll make another video right now.